June in Africa, the start of the dry season. Species encounter rates double every waterhole. Prey and predator, forged through countless brutal encounters, have reached an uneasy equilibrium. She can scent prey from 2 kilometers, 180 kilograms of solitary predator, succeeding just once in every 5 hunts. Advantage. Through the precision of compact legs, the hunter is stopped cold by the same floodwater that held her back. The attacker is bigger, stronger, but cannot bring that advantage to bear. No breakfast. The lioness does not quit. She finds a young calf. A different target, an easier one. But in this zone, the grass has stopped growing. No natural cover anywhere, except for a single safari vehicle. The vehicle carries no predator scent and triggers no alarm response in the herd. For 10 minutes, not a single buffalo reacts. When any individual in a Cape buffalo herd signals alarm, the response of the whole herd is automatic. Lion 0, buffalo is 1. Score settled, each goes off on his merry way. Even the most sophisticated tactic, using a safari vehicle as a weapon, cannot penetrate the herd. Because the calf's only vulnerability is isolation. And Cape buffalo never allow any individual to become isolated. This is the first mechanism in a much longer chain. If one lion cannot bring down a buffalo, what about 13? Rangi River Valley, Tanzania. A pride of 13 lions. The buffalo stands still. The lion operates on a fixed hunting sequence. Chase the prey, clamp the throat as speed drops, pull it down. That sequence only activates when the prey runs. When the prey stands still, the entire hunting sequence collapses. The predator has no next move. Every failed attack is a lesson. An evolutionary paradox. The oldest Cape buffalo with the slowest reflexes is the hardest to catch, because it has learned that the attacker loses direction when prey refuses to trigger the chase reflex. In Serengeti, Amboseli and Kruger, buffalo with direct lion confrontation history show stand-ground behavior 40 to 60% more frequently than age-matched individuals without that experience. Prey learns from the very pressures the predator creates. 13 lions, 0 kilograms of meat. But Cape buffalo are more than just difficult prey. They are architects of the savanna landscape, in the ecological sense. A herd of 500 creates 3 simultaneous effects: cropping the grass, compacting the soil, cutting natural drainage channels, and depositing 15 to 25 tons of dung per day. The result is a mosaic grass structure with alternating bands of tall, medium, and short growth. More than 40 bird species and 15 small mammal species can only survive in this habitat. They depend on transitional bands that no single grazer can create alone. When the herd moves on to new ground, the savanna they left behind regrows 2 to 3 times faster than grassland without large animals. This mechanism is known as grazing facilitation. The ecosystem needs Cape buffalo the way lungs need a steady rhythm. The fact that lions cannot easily kill Cape buffalo is not an evolutionary flaw. It is the protection mechanism for the most important ecological engineer on the African savannah. But it is not only prey that must learn. Lions must learn too. A lioness and her cubs, still in the learning phase of hunting. Skills forming. Coordination not yet synchronized. No safe angle of approach. For cubs not yet skilled enough to coordinate. The cubs are still too small to hunt this large prey, especially when the wildebeest fights so well. The wildebeest alarm call falls in the 800 to 1,200 Hz range. The optimal frequency for members of the herd to detect, even across a noisy savanna. When the wildebeest runs, lions have the advantage of speed and attack angle against fleeing prey. But when the wildebeest stands and fights back, there is no safe point of attack for the cubs. And none of this happens by chance. It happens in week 8 of the dry season. Predator and prey are forced into ever more frequent contact. But what rarely gets mentioned is that the dry season is equally brutal pressure on the predator. Nursing lionesses lose an average of 15 to 20% of body weight by the end of the dry season. Nutritional demand rises 20 to 30% during cub rearing, while prey becomes harder to catch as animals grow sharper to every threat. Both sides are racing against the same countdown clock, the first rains. East African Savannah, a single individual. 0 to 96 kilometers per hour in 3 seconds. The fastest land animal on Earth. But that advantage only works under one condition: the element of surprise. The cost-benefit calculation of sustaining an injury. For the cheetah, its legs are everything. Lions have fangs and claws to defend a kill when challenged. Leopards can haul prey high into a tree. The cheetah has no alternative. Speed is non-negotiable across its entire life. A leg injury means no hunting. spotted hyenas have learned to exploit exactly that weakness. Within a matter of minutes, 100% of the kill is gone. 4 brother cheetahs. Successful hunt, 0 kilograms consumed. A spotted hyena can consume 14 kilograms of meat per individual in 20 minutes. 1,000 pounds per square inch bite force, cutting feeding time to the absolute minimum. But fortune does not hold for the hyenas either. "20 minutes on the savannah. 5 defensive mechanisms. 5 identical outcomes. Predator fails. But the African savannah has more extraordinary survival battles to offer. A Rothschild's giraffe, 6 meters tall, 2,000 kilograms, capable of reaching 50 kilometers per hour. This is among the largest prey lions ever confront per strike. Enough to fracture a skull at close range. This young lion will remember this lesson for months. If fortunate, the lesson does not end with a broken bone. Serengeti data confirms adult giraffes successfully hunted by lions account for only 5 to 7% of individuals per year, a lower rate than almost any other large prey species. But giraffes are more than difficult prey. They are the watchtowers of the savannah, the only species able to browse leaves at 5 to 6 meters. When giraffes prune acacia branches, sunlight filters down to ground level, sustaining the grasses and low shrubs beneath. Without giraffes, acacia trees would close the canopy and convert the savannah into woodland. More than 100 resident bird species and 30 small mammal species would lose their only home. The same Rangi River Pride of 13, Tanzania. This time they choose a completely different opponent. 3 tons of muscle, equivalent to a full-size American pickup truck. Its sole objective is to reach the water before the body is completely drained. Unlike most wild animals, hippos possess an extremely passive thermoregulation system. They do not sweat and do not pant to dissipate heat. Their ultra-thick skin traps heat and releases it only extremely slowly. A lion's body, by contrast, operates like a high-output combustion engine the moment it enters combat. The same 13 lions. This time, they choose the classic prey to restore their standing. The calf stays deep inside the herd at all times. Even 13 lions couldn't grab a calf inside the herd. This is kin group defense, the buffalo herd's collective protection mechanism for its young. 1 lion or 13 lions. Every individual must pass through hundreds of horns pointed directly at it. Calf mortality inside the herd versus calves separated from it is 8 to 12 times lower. The buffalo herd's alert and response network appears to have no blind spot. The calf inside the herd is a safe calf. The calf separated from the herd is the calf that 13 lions are waiting for. 500 Cape buffalo moving as a single unified mass. Collective pressure enough to trigger the retreat instinct in the pride. They drop the kill and climb to the nearest high rocks. More than 20 apex predators, surrounded by buffalo standing below them. Not one lion can descend. This is collective intelligence at its highest scale, operating like a distributed superorganism. Not every individual in the herd responds identically. When one perimeter animal triggers, the signal reaches the core within 15 to 20 seconds. After 40 minutes trapped on the rocks, the pride finally withdraws as the herd slowly disperses. The herd returns to its normal rhythm, grazing and moving on, because survival is not a reward. It is a task that never ends. But what really happened across 7 confrontations today? Every species arrived here by its own road. A Cape buffalo bull standing still before 13 lions is not courage. It is knowledge accumulated across dozens of confrontations. The lion hunting sequence only initiates when prey activates it by running. The oldest bull in the herd, horns worn, reflexes slowed, is the hardest to catch, because it has stood its ground often enough to know the attacker will lose direction when prey refuses to trigger the chase reflex. A young wildebeest under 50 kilograms facing 3 adult lions. Those that do not fight back die in the first 2 minutes. Those that resist long enough for the herd to hear the call increase their survival odds with every extra second they hold on. The difference is not strength. It is a 45-second window of decision. Activate the resistance reflex or not. That lesson is not passed on through language, but through the genes of individuals who lived long enough to reproduce. The physics of a giraffe's hind leg kick. 2,000 kilograms of body mass generating 1,000 kilograms of force per strike. No 180-kilogram lion can absorb that force and continue attacking. What the giraffe has learned is not strategy, it is cause and effect. Every time a lion approaches from behind, the outcome is always the same. Hippo and 13 lions face off for 6 hours. Not 6 hours of lions unable to kill a hippo, but 6 hours of the hippo denying lions. A single correct angle of approach. In muddy water at 40 degrees Celsius, the hippo's body temperature stays stable. The lion's body temperature under the African sun rises continuously. The endurance of the one that controls its temperature is always greater. Whoever waits longer wins without needing to fight. Solitary lions succeed once in 5 attempts. A pride achieves at best 1 in 3. Cheetahs reach 50% success, but lose 10 to 15% of kills to theft. Add it all together, and Africa's apex predators fail more than 80% of the time. This is the 80% rule. 80% failure is not a random number. It is evidence of selection pressure that never pauses. And its result is 7 completely different solutions, each honed to neutralize one specific strength of one specific predator. The warthog needs speed, The Cape buffalo needs stillness and a network of 500 sensors activating in 60 seconds. The wildebeest needs 45 seconds of resistance and a call at the right frequency to pull the herd in. The giraffe needs exactly one kick from exactly the right angle and the patience not to run. The hippo needs thermally regulated mud and 6 hours. The cheetah needs its legs and the willingness to abandon a kill. When the cost outweighs the benefit, to preserve those legs for tomorrow. In an ecosystem where lions and leopards can go 3 to 5 days between meals, the cheetah must eat every 1 to 2 days. Its high metabolism and lean frame optimized for speed, not for fasting. Every day without a kill adds weight loss pressure, and an underweight cheetah no longer has the speed it needs. This is why surrendering a kill, painful as it is the right decision. Lose one meal to protect the only tool. That can secure the next one. There is no perfect solution here. A warthog can still be killed if a lion is patient enough to dig. An old solitary buffalo can still be surrounded long enough. A young wildebeest can still be caught if the herd responds slowly. This is a balance carved by every failure, every death, every hunt across every successive generation. Every prey species alive today exists because its ancestors outlasted the right predator at the right moment and passed on the genes of that defense mechanism. Every predator alive today exists because its ancestors succeeded often enough to reproduce, even though their success rate was never high. And that is precisely why this wild ecosystem still stands. The most species-rich terrestrial ecosystem still in existence on Earth. Across 7 hunts, a common pattern emerges. Why don't lions learn faster? Why, after all that pressure, can the lion's success rate never climb higher? The answer is not in the lion's limitations. It lies in the relentless pressure that prey has applied to the lion. Predator evolves to overcome. Prey evolves to survive. The cycle continues. Africa produces prey strong enough to make predators more refined with every generation, and predators growing more refined create the pressure that drives prey to evolve further still. But this equilibrium is facing a new variable. Climate change is not a pressure that evolution can keep pace with. Average African temperatures have risen 0.3 degrees Celsius per decade since 1980, at 1.5 times the global average rate. The dry season extends 2 to 3 weeks longer every decade. Groundwater levels are falling steadily across most of sub-Saharan Africa. The ecosystem consequence is declining grass cover, forcing prey to travel further, burning more energy, lowering resistance, and making animals easier to catch. Juvenile mortality rises on both sides, prey and predator alike, during prolonged El Niño years. But the most dangerous thing is not those numbers. The most dangerous thing is the speed. Evolution needs thousands of generations to adjust. Climate change is restructuring the environment within a handful of generations. That gap between the pace of environmental change and the pace of biological adaptation is the gap that species which went extinct in the past century could not cross. The African savannah has stood for 13 million years because the pressures it faced all fell within the speed at which evolution could respond. The question of this century is not whether prey is strong enough, but whether the ecosystem still has enough time to adapt. That is precisely why this savannah still stands after millions of years of relentless selection, and why what happens on this savannah is not only Africa's story, 7 counter-adaptations, 7 confrontations, 1 rule. This is wild savannah, where the strongest does not always win. The winner is the one that solved the right problem at the right moment. Before you go, there is one question. Which species had the most impressive counter-adaptation for you? The hippo, 6 hours undefeated against 13 lions, winning by thermodynamics rather than strength. The giraffe, 1 kick of 1,000 kilograms force, and it is over. The buffalo, 500 individuals as one superorganism, repelling more than 20 apex predators with just 2 simple signals. Comment below, we want to know. If wild savannah has changed the way you see the savannah, subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And now, prepare yourself for a different kind of battleground, the wild Amazon rainforest. Beneath the deep leaf litter of the Amazon forest floor, an empire is at work, silent, disciplined, and more numerous than any army in human history. Tens of millions of years before, humans learned to farm, leaf-cutter ants had already mastered the cultivation of fungus. Every day, millions of leaf-cutter ants leave the colony, climb tree trunks, slice leaf fragments with surgical precision, and carry them home on their backs. But they do not eat the leaves. They farm their food. Leaves are chewed to a pulp, mixed with saliva, then spread across fungal beds, deep inside the underground tunnel system. Fungus grows on this decomposing substrate, and that is the true food source for the entire colony. The first agriculture on this planet did not belong to humans, but to an insect weighing less than 0.1 grams. A leafcutter ant colony can reach 8 million individuals, 8 million organisms functioning as a single body. At the center of this empire, there is only one queen. She lives 14 to 20 years, giving rise to more than 150 million daughters over her lifetime. No other organism on Earth can generate a lineage of that scale within a single generation. Every ant fulfills a precise role: soldier, leafcutter, transporter, fungus farmer. Pheromones, chemical signals secreted by each ant, are the invisible language of the empire. A single pheromone trail can coordinate hundreds of thousands of individuals simultaneously, with more precision than any communication system humans have ever invented. Every year, the colony processes tons of soil, digging, aerating, and recycling nutrients across the forest floor. Without ants, the Amazon soil would suffocate. But the underground empire does not only have farmers, it also has invaders. Army ants are the perfect counterpart to leafcutter ants. Where leafcutters build, army ants destroy. A single army ant raid can mobilize up to 200,000 individuals. They flood across the forest floor like a black river over 200 meters long, obliterating everything in their path: insects, spiders, scorpions, even small lizards. Nothing escapes this army. In this forest, survival is a merciless contest. The rustle of hundreds of thousands of tiny legs sweeping through dry leaves is the last sound many creatures ever hear. Army ants build no permanent nest. They create a bivouac, a living structure, assembled from thousands of ants locking legs together. This living wall protects the queen and larvae through the night. When dawn comes, the living nest disassembles and the army marches on. No rest, no negotiation, no borders. Whether building or destroying, this is not mere instinct. If the jaguar is the symbol of Amazon power, then the ant is the foundation that keeps the entire forest running. Strength is not in size, but in organization. But the surface is only the tip of the iceberg. Below the waterline, a far more formidable world awaits, where power is measured not in fangs or claws, but in something completely invisible. Up to 2.4 meters long and nearly 20 kilograms, it looks more like a rotting log than a predator, but that appearance is deception. This is the electric eel, and it carries a weapon that no other species on Earth possesses. The electric eel is not actually an eel. It belongs to the knifefish order Gymnotiformes, more closely related to catfish and carp. The name eel is a centuries-old misidentification based on its elongated body shape. Biologically, it is a completely distinct animal. Inside the electric eel's body are 3 separate electric organs: the main organ, the sax organ, and the hunter's organ. The sax organ emits weak pulses of 10 to 100 volts, not to attack, but to see. This is a biological sonar system. Electrical waves radiate outward and bounce back off objects, mapping a 3-dimensional underwater environment. In murky water, where ordinary eyes are useless, the electric eel perceives the world through its own electromagnetic field. Any creature passing through creates a disturbance, and the eel detects it instantly. When a target enters range, the hunting mode activates. 80% of the electric eel's body is composed of cells stacked like thousands of batteries. When the signal fires, all discharge simultaneously. A massive electrical surge tears through the dark water. The prey has no time to react. Muscles lock, nervous system shuts down. The contest ends in milliseconds. Against larger targets, the eel coils its body around the victim, like an electromagnet tightening, doubling the intensity of the lethal strike. No claws, no fangs. Power in the Amazon can be completely invisible. But the electric eel is not the only creature. That makes the Amazon River a death zone. There is another army, far smaller, but 1,000 times more numerous. When piranha are mentioned, Hollywood has woven a legend of a ravenous school of fish that can strip a cow to bone in minutes. That legend is almost entirely false. The largest red-bellied piranha reaches only about 33 centimeters in length and around 3.4 kilograms, far smaller than any film portrayal. But do not mistake size for power. Piranha teeth are among the most perfect weapons evolution has ever produced. Razor-edged triangles, interlocking like scissor blades. Their bite force relative to body size ranks among the highest of any freshwater fish. Yet the scientific reality is more surprising than any horror film. Piranha are primarily scavengers. Most of the time they consume carrion, insects that fall into the water, seeds, even algae. The Hollywood screen killer barely exists. Mass feeding frenzies are extremely rare. They occur only when the school is severely starved, or when falling water levels compress hundreds of fish into shallow pools. In reality, piranha are quite timid. They tend to avoid large objects and spend most of their lives in caution rather than aggression. Piranha possess a lateral line system running along both flanks, detecting vibrations in the water with remarkable precision. When one piranha is injured, chemical signals disperse into the water. The entire school responds immediately, not to cannibalize, but to establish a collective defensive barrier. Piranha teeth shed and regrow continuously throughout life, always sharp, always ready. Evolution has equipped them with a self-renewing arsenal, hundreds of small brains connected to each other through chemistry and vibration, responding in an instant. They act as a single organism. The true role of piranha is not as killers. They are the cleanup crew that removes carrion, prevents disease, and keeps the river healthy. As the last drops of November evaporate, tens of thousands of elephants, famished and exhausted, trudge toward the remaining mud wallows. For the Savuti lions, this is a lavish feast. To conquer oversized prey, the lion kings here have transformed themselves into heavyweight gladiators. The physical pressure of wrestling prey weighing 4 to 5 tons has remolded their physiques. Savuti lions are heavier than the species average. Females weigh up to 160 kilograms, and males can reach 250 kilograms. The muscle mass in their shoulders and necks is maximally developed. This is the source of strength needed to wrestle the head down or cling to the back of a frantically struggling elephant. The lion's skin here is a map of violence, crisscrossed with scars from ferocious hunts, wounds from ivory punctures, buffalo horn gores, and brutal battles with hyenas. These are the medals of survival in this arid land. To take down an elephant, the strength of 5 or 6 individuals is meaningless. Savuti lions live in super prides, numbering up to 30 members. Muscle power combined with overwhelming numbers is how they bring down giant prey. Large prides also provide a defensive advantage for the Savuti lions. Savuti is also home to the most populous and aggressive spotted hyena clans on the continent. The lion-hyena feud here is a total war where numbers decide the victor. But the most terrifying aspect of the Savuti lion is not strength, but intellect. Elephant hunting is not an innate instinct, but a culture passed down through generations. Lion cubs observe their mothers leaping onto elephants' backs and mimic the technique. This behavior follows the rhythm of the Savuti channel. When the water flows, elephants are healthy and dispersed, and this skill lies dormant. When the channel dries, elephants weaken and congregate, and the nightmare returns. This is the most dangerous life-or-death gamble in the animal kingdom. The lion mortality rate in elephant hunts is higher than with any other prey. Trampled to death, gored through the abdomen by tusks. Yet the reward is compelling enough to risk it all. 4 tons of fresh meat, enough to sustain the entire empire for days. However, the greatest threat to the kings of Savuti comes not from nature, but from controversial political decisions. In 2019, the hunting ban was lifted, turning the famed black-maned males into prime targets for international trophy hunters. By 2024, Savuti became the epicenter of a fierce diplomatic battle between Botswana and the West regarding the balance between ethics and profit. With license fees reaching up to $50,000, the government argues that every shot is an essential financial source to support impoverished communities. However, the cost is the degradation of a biological heritage. The removal of the strongest alpha males threatens to permanently wipe out the unique gene pool of the legendary elephant hunters. But the elephant is not the lion's only enemy in Savuti. This is also the domain of the perfect bone-crushing machines, the spotted hyena. In Savuti, carcasses of elephants and buffalo are scattered. Hyenas utilize jaws with a bite force of 1,100 pounds per square inch to pulverize giant femurs left behind by others. Their digestive system is so powerful that their droppings are chalk white because they consist almost entirely of calcium. But spotted hyenas are not the dedicated scavengers that movies often portray them to be. Savuti is the very battlefield on Earth that has completely rewritten the biological definition of this creature. Here, 80% of their diet comes from active hunting. The classic documentary Eternal Enemies exposed a bloody, decades-long clan war where hyenas do not just steal kills, but are also ready to purge vulnerable lion cubs. They are supreme hunters with intelligence that surpasses chimpanzees in group coordination. They can chase prey at speeds of 60 kilometers per hour continuously for distances up to 5 kilometers. To confront lion superprides, Savuti hyenas gather into superclans. Each clan boasts up to 80 members, operating under the leadership of a single queen. Ecological overlap pushes them into an endless war with lions, a war where numbers decide everything. When outnumbering the enemy 4-1, hyenas will actively attack. They execute mobbing techniques to surround and disorient the lion. They rush in to tear at the lion's rump and hindquarters, inflicting bone-shattering wounds. To retaliate, Savuti male lions execute the most brutal punishment, assassinating the matriarch. They actively hunt down the alpha female of the hyena clan. Without the leader, the entire clan falls into chaos and loses the will to resist. Do you support Team Lion or Team Spotted Hyena? Let us know your choice in the comments below. The serene beauty of the sunrise. Hides a patient hunter. The line between life and the final sunset here is as thin as a breath. Welcome to Sabi Sand. Located in South Africa. This is one of Africa's most prestigious private reserves. Sabi Sand is an open biological corridor sharing over 50 kilometers of unfenced border with Kruger National Park. Wildlife here enjoys during the dry season from May to September, when the searing heat takes its toll. Every creature in the kingdom gravitates toward these riverbanks. Leopard density in Sabi Sand is at a world record high, with roughly 12 individuals for every 100 square kilometers. If Sabi Sand is a kingdom of hunters, then the leopard is its most noble and cunning phantom. However, in an ecosystem ruled by tyrants, every mistake has its price. The leopard has elevated survival skills into a fine art. Every rippling muscle moves beneath that spotted coat in absolute silence. This meal will sustain it for several days. A scent of finality wafts through the breeze. Instinct tells the leopard that patrolling the night is playing with fire. In 2001, in the heart of Sabi Sand, the Sparta pride of lionesses gave birth to a generation that would change the history of this land forever. Even as a little one young male showed the spirit of a bold and fearless leader. A biological brother stayed by his side, and they were joined at the hip. These were the first steps toward a coalition, a blend of wild courage and budding ambition. Free passage throughout a vibrant ecosystem. The concentration of the Big Five here is truly incredible. Sabi Sand is a treasure trove of impressive genetic diversity. 47 mammal species. More than 300 bird species, 57 reptile species, and countless amphibians. The soul of this land lies within two lifelines, the Sabi River and the Sand River. These males live a nomadic but ambitious life, carrying physical strength and a bold nature programmed into their DNA. They are genetic mirrors, waiting for the right moment to embark on their own territorial conquests. The era of the Sao Kings has passed, yet Sabi Sand still echoes with roars from the past. Mapogo genetics are more than just biological markers. They represent an unquenchable instinct to lead. The struggle for the throne in this wild kingdom will never conclude, as the blood of the strongest flows silently, preparing for the next great rise. The Mapogo legacy proves how strength and intensity can redefine an entire realm. But the savannah still holds stranger secrets, kings who defy the odds or rewrite the rules of survival. Discover the stories of these extraordinary individuals in Wildest Lions, when the kings defy nature. They arrived like a tidal wave, roaring and claiming their domain from the very first step. That was when the true shift in power began. To ensure total control and preserve their lineage, the Mapogos acted on their darkest primal instincts. Most notably, the tragedy of the Ottawa Pride and its 11 cubs. If a female dared to resist to protect her own, or wavered before their might, her story did not end well. Typically, when taking the role of the dominant male, nomadic lions allow the females to remain, as they are the mothers and the primary providers for the pride. But in this instance, even when a lioness surrendered and stood ready to serve the new kings, she still met a tragic fate. Within a year, experts estimate that over 100 lions fell under the paws of the Mapogo alliance. Their empire expanded at a breathtaking pace, swallowing nearly 70,000 hectares of territory. These figures reflect a level of intensity that was truly unprecedented. Beneath the heels of these 6 kings were more than 8 prides of lionesses, forming the most powerful coalition ever recorded in history. Ironically, the African wild dog reaped the greatest rewards from this unfolding drama. Yet their existence here remains a high-stakes gamble for survival. Lions have a deep-seated disdain for wild dogs. However, a fascinating paradox emerged during the Mapogo reign. Driving away rival prides and hyenas unintentionally carved out a sanctuary for them. To endure in this arena, wild dogs have adapted to a crepuscular lifestyle, often venturing out at twilight or dawn to avoid crossing paths with patrolling lion prides. Their strategy relies not on raw power, but on sheer endurance. The success rate for wild dogs is the highest among Africa's large carnivores. Lions reach about 25 to 30%, which isn't even half of the dog's 70 to 80% mark. Yet what truly sets this species apart isn't their tactical skill, but their incredibly tight-knit social structure. Wild dog society is built on a spirit of unparalleled support. The young are always given the first seat at the table. Adults will regurgitate food to provide for those who are injured, the elderly, or mothers tending to the den. Their eventual rise was by no means a fluke. The Sparta lionesses and the West Street males truly set the bar as model parents. Under the guidance of these kings, they were growing into the bravest adolescents. Life lessons were constant in the field. During a chaotic confrontation in 2003, the Sparta pride was surrounded. Buffalo have a deep-seated rivalry with lions. They actively remove future rivals. That struggle left a deep mark on the Sparta pride. Amid the chaos, the 5 brothers, individuals who would later be known as the Mapagos, managed to avoid the final curtain. This survival was destiny. They would go on to rewrite the history of the wild in this region. Not long after that event, a stranger appeared. A promising young male. He was about 4 years old. Makulu. This was highly unusual. With the arrival of an outside male, intense challenges are usually the standard welcome for a newcomer. Experts believe that Makulu was actually the offspring of one of the West Street males. And it was that familiar scent of family ties that spared him. At this age, rather than seeking out new territories to conquer, Makulu acted as a protector for his younger brothers. This incredibly smart survival strategy helped him avoid draining skirmishes, while gaining time to refine his skills before truly stepping into his role as a conqueror. The younger brothers, the males who made it through the ordeal with the Cape buffalo. 5 names began to emerge as distinct figures. Scar, Pretty Boy, Rasta, Kinky Tail, and Mr. T. Being older, Makulu was always the largest male lion. Mr. T, the most assertive and bold, did not dare to challenge him. He and Kinky Tail became thick as thieves, inseparable. The arid Kalahari, a basin of 900,000 square kilometers, spanning Botswana, Namibia, and South Africa. It bears witness to a grand paradox of nature named the Okavango Delta, the only river on Earth that chooses to die amidst the desert rather than seek the sea, and also the 1,000th site to be recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The lions of the Okavango are no longer the water-fearing cats of the Serengeti Plains. They are true aquatic masters. The phenomenon of upper body hypertrophy is the clearest testament to this evolution. Continuous movement through chest-deep water acts as a natural resistance workout. The drag of the water forces their chest, neck, and shoulder muscles to overdevelop, increasing their bulk by 15% compared to their counterparts. They have also developed a characteristic high-stepping gait. Lifting their paws high above the water's surface minimizes hydrodynamic drag. This is a remarkable coalition on the savannah. These slender predators are often biological brothers. There are also cases where lone individuals find one another, forming a non-related alliance to stand firm against a harsh destiny. A typical cheetah coalition is usually a task force of 2 to 3 males. But nature occasionally gets generous and forms squads of up to 4 or 5 members. Teaming up like this is similar to lions, focused on just 2 primary goals: territory and opportunity. A powerful alliance will claim the prime real estate, areas with plentiful water and the highest concentration of prey. It is the perfect calling card to attract passing females. Their favorite meal is the impala, an icon of the African grasslands. They spread out into a broad horizontal formation, surrounding their target like seasoned professionals. This bond goes far beyond just business. It is a lifelong brotherhood. But this alliance is not solely built for the chase. They must also watch each other's backs and provide safety against more dominant predators. These young hunters are nearly ready to strike out on their own. The word mapogo in the Tsonga language means a group that works together. However, researchers named this pride after Mapogo a Mathamaga, a security company in South Africa famous for its extremely stern ways of dealing with lawbreakers. In some local dialects, Mapogo also implies vigilantes or enforcers. At first, the Mapogos operated as scavengers. There were many times when these adolescent outlaws had to run for their lives. That harsh reality molded them into the most calculated hunters. As their skills were sharpened through many close calls, their frequency of hunting began to increase. It is a flawless social welfare system in the heart of the unforgiving savannah. They even practice a unique form of democracy. Researchers in the Kruger, Sabi Sand region discovered that. Before deciding whether to head out, the pack holds a vote by sneezing. This acoustic voting system showcases a sophisticated collective intelligence, helping them thrive right under the noses of the dark-maned rulers. With his territory and most loyal companion gone, Mr. T lost a part of his very soul. Wandering west, he was forced to seek shelter within his former coalition. He was welcomed back by his four brothers. However, Mr. T had no intention of just being a passenger. His dominant nature would not allow him to take a back seat. To reclaim his standing in Makulu's group, Mr. T committed an act that stunned observers. This went beyond simple survival. It was a bold assertion of power, making him the new ruler over the remnants of his own kin. Strangely, his brothers did not step in to stop him. Physically, the other male lions were just as capable as Mr. T. In the Okavango, breeding herds can reach sizes of 1,000 to 2,000 individuals. There is no dictatorial king, buffalo ordering movement. They practice the most primitive democracy in Africa. When the herd rests, adult females will stand up and face the direction they wish to travel. It is a silent ballot. After an hour of deliberation, the direction receiving the most consensus becomes the herd's route. The movement of the Cape Buffalo Legion plays a paramount ecological role. They are great lawn mowers, specializing in consuming the tall, tough, and fibrous grass layers that other species ignore. This action clears the path and exposes the soft young grass underneath. Without these tanks to blaze the trail, picky eaters like the impala or zebra could not survive. But the Cape buffalo's pathfinding journey is not always smooth. The lions are always lurking by the water's edge. The adaptation to the waters has transformed the lion into a vital part of the spiritual beliefs of indigenous tribes like the Baye and Hambukushu. They call them Tau, a sacred totem representing the clan's lineage and bloodline. Harming a lion is an absolute taboo, equivalent to attacking one's own ancestors. When encountering Tau in the wild, they bow their heads and respectfully yield the path as if facing a revered chieftain. They believe that deep within those amber eyes reside the souls of the departed. However, the line between reverence and spiritual dread is often razor thin. The Okavango people are haunted by legends of sorcerers performing shape-shifting, transforming into beasts to exact revenge. Thus, when a lion attacks livestock with unnatural cunning and brutality, it is deemed a sign of black magic. In contrast to the African wild dog, the Mapogo lion's sense of unity is beginning to show some cracks in the armor. Though Makulu held the crown with his commanding dark mane and superior presence, Mr. T never accepted a subordinate role. During the early stage of the alliance, the one holding the baton of leadership was none other than Makulu. He was 6 years old at the time. At this age, many other male lions are preparing for their twilight years. But Makulu was just entering his prime. The reason was that staying with the pride longer than usual meant that by the time he entered the most challenging nomadic phase of a male lion's life, Makulu was no frail youth. He showed that he was a true leader. Thanks to the strength and guidance of a seasoned big brother, the Mapogo lions gained a significant advantage much earlier than other males. This super coalition was no longer satisfied with small game. They began targeting massive opponents. From Cape buffalo to hippos, young rhinos, and even adult giraffes. A male giraffe can weigh 1,300 kilograms, more than 6 times the weight of an adult lion. Bringing down such a giant requires high-level tactical coordination. Having 6 male lions grow up together and remain so closely bonded is incredibly rare. From a scientific standpoint, a super coalition strategy only happens when they accept intense internal competition in exchange for absolute dominance and the best chance to pass on their legacy. Now, with their confidence reaching a peak, the Mapogo alliance wanted to be at the top. They were ready to call the shots and rule it all. With a 50 kilometers open border directly bordering Kruger National Park, Sabi Sand acts as a massive funnel for migrating herds. This is an all-you-can-eat feast for top-tier predators. In contrast, to the east, Mr. T and Kinky Tail became fierce defenders, constantly straining to push back newcomers spilling over from Kruger National Park. The Mapogo Alliance's division into two groups in 2008 was the first time in history a male coalition didn't simply fall apart, but instead actively divided the land. In many parts of Africa, water serves as an effective shield to deter lions, but the Okavango has shattered that strategy. Here, the kings of the savannah have completely mastered the aquatic domain. They refuse to allow nature to stand in the way of their path to the apex of the food chain. And there, the island of Duba Plains is regarded as the true Roman Colosseum of the natural world. Travelers and filmmakers flock here to witness this primal warfare. Body-launching tosses and claws digging into flesh have forged a modern religion. An absolute reverence for adaptability and the power of the will to survive. If a lion faces off against a buffalo on dry land, which species do you think would emerge victorious? Let us know in the comments below. But the hippo remains a force not to be trifled with. Even the Nile crocodile, a hunting machine armed to the teeth with cutting-edge weaponry, must be wary. These two species often bask in the sun side by side. It is a deceptive piece. A mature hippo can snap a 3-meter crocodile in half, like breaking a dry twig. In terms of numbers, they held all the cards, especially since the eldest, Makulu, had bested Mr. T in a one-on-one encounter back in 2008. This surrender didn't come from a lack of strength. It seemed the older brothers, after so many years together, had thrown in the towel to Mr. T's sheer intensity and hunger for control. Time is a force that no claw can overcome. Over the next 2 years, the Mapogo Empire began to fade under the steady pressure of the Majingilanis. Rasta and Pretty Boy vanished without a trace. The legendary alliance was now down to an aging trio. Makulu at 14 years old, Scar at 12 years old, and Mr. T at 10 years old. The final chapter for the ruler began on March 16, 2012. A coalition of 5 young males called the Salatis moved in, focusing their efforts on Mr. T. Mr. T lived as a powerful ruler and fell like a warrior, bringing a close to the most legendary era in the history of Sabi Sand. Their legacy is more than just a memory of strength. As lions and hyenas retreat from the carcasses of giants, the Savuti sky is immediately obscured by the wings of another ruler, the lappet-faced vulture, Africa's largest and most powerful vulture. A wingspan of up to 2.9 meters transforms them into heavy bombers. The most terrifying identifying feature is the bald, purplish-red head with dangling folds of flesh, lappets. It is the ultimate hygienic adaptation to avoid infection when plunging their heads into rotting carcasses. But their true power lies in the beak, capable of piercing skin as thick as a Kevlar shield. They tear open the toughest hides, paving the way for smaller vultures and insects to access the meat inside. The relationship between the king of the earth, the lion, and the king of the sky, the lappet-faced vulture, is one of mutual vigilance. The lappet-faced vulture monitors every move of the lion super prides from an altitude of 3,000 meters. When lions make a kill, they patiently perch on surrounding dead trees, a signal of death notifying the entire savannah of where blood has been spilled. Conversely, lions also frequently scan the skies. If they see lappet-faced vultures congregating to land, they know there is free food available. But at the banquet table, the vulture king is a bully. Their massive size allows them to drive away jackals and white-backed vultures. They only back down when a lion or hyena returns. Nevertheless, they remain a crucial link in clearing bacteria and pathogens from the dead lands of Savuti. It is not only the lion, but also their prey, the African bush elephant, that reaches astonishing dimensions in Savuti. Mature bulls tower to heights of 4 meters and weigh up to 7 tons. The mineral-rich Kalahari sands have nurtured a maximally developed skeletal frame. Legs are longer and stouter than normal to conquer the shifting sand terrain. Herds here don a characteristic camouflage, Savuti dust. The arid, whitish-gray clay coats their bodies, transforming them into mobile stone statues amidst the dead forest. Though the large tusk gene persists, you rarely see a pristine set of ivory. Broken tusks are the scars of battles for cramped water sources, or the habit of snapping steel-hard mopani trees. In Savuti, African bush elephants act like natural bulldozers, toppling and stripping the bark of ancient trees. This behavior prevents forest encroachment, maintaining the open savanna state. They reshape the terrain, opening up living space for antelopes, zebras, and even predators like lions. During cycles of record drought, when the ghost river fades, elephants become well diggers. They use trunks and forefeet to excavate deep into the dry riverbed to tap into subterranean aquifers. When they move on, these pits become life-saving oases for the entire ecosystem. For the Botswana and San people, elephants are totems possessing a supernatural connection to water. They are powerful rainmakers depicted on the ancient cliffs of Gubatsa. A curse has been cast. Whoever kills an elephant without cause invites the wrath of eternal drought down upon the land of Savuti. But hidden behind the calm exterior is an unstable psychology. Constant nocturnal harassment by lions turns them into some of the most easily agitated and aggressive creatures on the continent. This is one of the rare elephant populations that knows to fear lions after repeated harassment by super prides. Not just isolated calves, but even massive 10-year-old subadults can become targets. When attacked by lions, Savuti elephants deploy a military formation, the phalanx. Under the command of the matriarch, the herd immediately forms a fortified defensive circle. The tiny calves are shielded absolutely. Outside is a wall of ivory and trunks, ready to hurl away any intruder. And when the opportunity arises, they actively seek revenge on the lions. If they encounter lions sleeping during the day, the herd will not hesitate to attack. They use trunks to thrash, feet to trample, and ivory to impale. Savuti lions frequently pay with their lives after violent nocturnal hunts. In a land that prizes strength and beauty, even a small creature like the warthog must change to adapt. A face full of warts is actually composed of thick, fatty pads, protecting facial bones and eyes during brutal civil wars. Their weapons are two pairs of curved tusks. The upper pair curves inward for parrying. The lower pair is shorter but razor-sharp, self-sharpening every time the mouth closes. These are biological daggers capable of disemboweling an enemy in a single strike. To survive in arid Savuti, the warthog developed a kneeling feeding technique. The front knees have thick, callous pads, allowing them to kneel for hours to root for tubers and succulent bulbs. In Savuti, lions prioritize hunting elephants, but that does not mean they overlook the warthog. To them, a warthog is like a light snack. But this prey is far from easy to catch. When pursued, they enter aardvark burrows by backing in, pointing their sharp tusks toward the entrance. They are ready to charge straight at any lion foolish enough to stick a paw or face inside. But the Savuti lions have found a way to counter the warthog's tactics. Some prides here have developed specialized excavation skills. They patiently dig from above, collapsing the burrow roof to drag the prey out. No prey, big or small, is safe from their claws. The only exception is perhaps the honey badger. A creature weighing only about 10 to 12 kilograms, yet entering the Guinness Book of World Records with the title, World's Most Fearless Creature. Their secret weapon is loose skin. This layer is 6 millimeters thick, tough as rubber, and completely detached from the muscle layer beneath. If bitten on the back by a lion, they can rotate 180 degrees inside their own skin and turn back to bite the attacker. The honey badger also possesses incredible venom resistance. A specialized immune system allows them to survive bites from puff adders or black mambas, species abundant in Savuti. They may fall unconscious for a few hours, then wake up and finish eating the snake that just bit them. In Savuti, lions often choose to ignore this little madman. To kill a honey badger, a lion must spend hours gnawing on the tough hide. Meanwhile, it must endure frenzied clawing and a pungent odor from the badger's anal glands. The energy cost to pay is simply too high. However, during severe droughts, when hunger clouds reason, lions are forced to attack. It is always a protracted and noisy battle, where even the victor must bear many wounds. The honey badger is living proof that, in nature, attitude, not size, decides everything. Amidst the slow giants of Savuti, the black-backed jackal exists by speed and recklessness. Here, they are the ultimate opportunists. From hunting and scavenging to eating fruit or thievery, no limit can stop them. Black-backed jackals frequently loiter around lion feasts. Their tactic is hit and run. They dash between the legs of feeding lions, snatch a piece of meat, and bolt away faster than a blink. Nonetheless, lions often view them as annoying nuisances rather than food. Lions usually only chase them off or kill them if the chance arises, but rarely eat jackals due to the unappealing taste. But the greatest risk the black-backed jackal poses to Savuti lions is invisible: rabies and canine distemper. Disease outbreaks from overpopulated jackal populations can spread and wipe out an entire mighty lion pride. In this biological war, the smallest creature holds the weapon of mass destruction. And this complex web of beliefs has turned the human-lion relationship here into one of the 21st century's most difficult ethical dilemmas. In reality, the wisdom of the Okavango lion stems from their unique environment. They turn the water into an ally. They actively drive prey from dry land into the flooded swamps. The prey's small hooves sink deep into the mud under the water's pressure. Meanwhile, the lion's broad paws act like snowshoes, allowing them to move agilely across the soft substrate. This endless bounty allowed 6 male lions to coexist in one coalition, without needing to turn on one another due to hunger. But this 6-member super coalition chose a specific fuel: the Cape buffalo. They view these buffalo as the savannah's ultimate survival test. A mature male buffalo can weigh up to 900 kilograms, more than 4 times the weight of a male lion and 6 times that of a female. Buffalo are ready to surround, trample, or overwhelm predators to protect their kind. Contrary to that bleakness, the Cape fur seal population is exploding in this desert. Thousands crowd together on the rocky beaches of Cape Cross. They create a giant seafood restaurant right next to the dead desert, attracting every hungry predator. Unlike true seals, which can only drag themselves heavily on their bellies, Cape fur seals belong to the Otariidae family, eared seals. They possess distinct external ear flaps, helping better sound orientation on land, and especially the rotatable pelvis structure, allowing them to rotate hind flippers forward to walk on all fours. They can even gallop on land at speeds of 20 kilometers per hour, fast enough to trouble a human, but not enough to escape a lion. To resist the 10 degrees Celsius Benguela current without freezing, they do not rely entirely on thick blubber-like polar seals. The fur coat is the most reliable defense against the cold. The coat consists of 2 layers, coarse guard hairs on the outside and dense underfur on the inside. Fur density reaches up to 50,000 fibers per square centimeter. This structure traps a layer of insulating air next to the skin, ensuring their skin never gets wet even when soaking underwater all day. Underwater, seals are ballet dancers, kings of speed. On land, they are clumsy, energy-rich blocks of meat. The seal's thick blubber is the most precious calorie source, providing twice the energy of antelope meat for the gaunt desert lions. However, hunting seals is not an easy task. Mature male seals weigh up to 300 kilograms and are extremely aggressive when defending territory. Their mouths are full of toxic bacteria from decaying fish. A seal bite can cause severe necrosis, capable of killing a lion after a few days due to sepsis. Thus, lions usually target pups or females. Lions are renowned as the top predators on land, but in the Namib, they are gradually expanding their hunting grounds. Every seal taken down is a challenge, a competitive message sent to the rulers of the ocean's food chain. Far removed from those noisy hunts, the brown hyena is the quiet and mysterious recluse of the Namib. This is the rarest and least understood hyena species in the world. They drape themselves in a shaggy, dark brown coat up to 30 centimeters long. But this is a perfect biological design. This coat helps regulate body temperature, keeping them warm during freezing desert nights and shielding the body from the scorching daytime sun. Pointed ears and faint stripes on their legs harken back to the primitive ancestors of the hyena family millions of years ago. Unlike their northern brethren who live in large clans and hunt collectively, brown hyenas are solitary foragers. Each individual must fend for its own belly within a vast territory. They wander along the high tide line, searching for washed-up seal carcasses, stranded whales, or stealing seabird eggs. Though a scavenger, their jaws retain the destructive power of the Hyenidae family. Teeth and jaw muscles are strong enough to crush the bones of a seal carcass that has dried for weeks to extract the last bit of marrow. Their sense of smell is so acute they can detect the scent of death from kilometers downwind. In the Namib, the brown hyena sits at the bottom of the apex food chain. When a lion appears, they immediately flee. There are no great battles or counter-theft attempts like in Savuti. Namib lions kill brown hyenas not for food, but to eliminate competition. For in the desert, every scrap of meat is as precious as gold. Removing a scavenger ensures a reserve food source for themselves and their future cubs. Heading southwest of the dark continent, giant fiery red sand dunes plunge straight into the frigid Atlantic. Namib, the oldest desert on the planet with an age of 55 million years. Portuguese sailors of old called this coast the Gates of Hell, and the indigenous Bushmen call it the land God made in anger. Here, average rainfall is less than 10 millimeters per year. Ground temperature can cook an egg by day and freeze by night. Life seems impossible to exist, but in this harsh void, a legend has been rewritten. In the Namib, lions are not the well-fed kings sleeping under acacia shade like in the Serengeti. They are the gaunt, ascetic, and most resilient survivors of the Felid family. The desert-adapted lion population is a rare biological marvel. To survive in the deadland, the pride here is forced to evolve conversely to their kin. Their bodies are leaner, their fur develops thicker and shaggier to resist the bone-chilling winds of the Southern Ocean. But the greatest change lies in behavior and metabolism. Extremely low prey density forces them to control a colossal territory. The home range of a pride here spans up to 20,000 square kilometers. This figure is 40 times the territory of a pride in the Masai Mara. Also, because of that vast territory, lions here become the greatest endurance athletes in the natural world. They can travel continuously 50 to 70 kilometers each night over shifting dunes to search for food. And when terrestrial prey like oryx or ostrich becomes scarce or migrates away, lions turn toward the open sea. They become marine lions. Namib is the only place in the world where lions hunt fur seals, cormorants, and flamingos. Carbon isotope studies show that the seafood menu accounts for up to 79% of the diet of coastal prides during the dry season. They patrol along the skeleton coast, littered with shipwrecks, utilizing the roar of ocean waves to mask the sound of footsteps on gravel, dashing across wet sands to snatch seals that are sleeping soundly or off guard. However, the desert's greatest challenge is not food but water. Namib lions can live for weeks, even months, without drinking a single drop of fresh water. They are biological alchemists. They extract metabolic water from the blood and flesh of their prey. Especially, lions here know how to utilize the fog. In the early mornings, when the frigid Benguela current meets desert heat, creating a dense fog bank, Namib lions lick condensed water droplets from their own fur and off rocks, a sophisticated survival behavior never seen in any other big cat. Resource scarcity causes extremely low population density here. In 2023, only about 60 mature individuals were recorded in the core northwest Namibia area. They are dubbed the Vanishing Kings. Solitude is the price to pay for freedom in this land. Targeting these high-stakes objectives was the key to building the Mapogo Empire. Bringing down a buffalo means taking in a massive amount of calories, enough to sustain the entire alliance for many days. Kinky Tail and Mr. T were always the most assertive during the final moments, turning each hunt into a display of raw power. Mr. T, the youngest, was more willing than anyone to fight for the lion's share. He might be a skilled hunter, but he may not have the true grit to lead. Makulu always kept everything in its proper place. Their coalition was about to embark on a conquest that would shake the savannah to its core. In 2006, shadows stretched across northern Sabi Sand as the 6 outlaws officially made their move. It is a vivid testament to how far the most capable can push the boundaries of survival and influence. As the commanding leader's roar faded, a profound silence fell over the plains, marking the end of an era where force was the only recognized language. The last high survivors, Makulu and Pretty Boy, experienced the heavy weight of being bested. They lost everything: territory, pride, and influence, drifting into Kruger National Park like shadows of the past. Pretty Boy reached his journey's end shortly after, but Makulu, the dark-maned king with superior lineage, survived Chogen 2013. At 15, this veteran became a living biological marvel, as it is rare for a male lion in the wild to reach such a milestone amidst constant struggle. Though the Mapogo coalition dissolved, their presence still haunts Sabi Sand through a complex genetic web. Their intense reign left behind a massive ecological void. Yet, the Mapogo lineage never truly vanished. It flows through the veins of their offspring, who are quietly waiting in the wings to restore order. This bloodline is most visible in the Ottawa Pride, Noiba adult lionesses, Makulu's own daughters, steadfastly carry on the legacy. Biologists see this as nature's balance, where those who made it through the upheaval are the ones keeping the fire burning. This network reaches as far as the Tsalala, Mangeni, and Ntsevu prides. Tsalala is a rare pride that preserved the Mapogo genes since the empire's early transition. Splitting from the Mangeni pride in 2012, Sao young lionesses formed the Ntsevu pride, expert hunters whose buffalo handling skills rival their legendary fathers. Today, the Ntsevu breakaways with Bon young males are growing rapidly. They possess confident, dark manes. A trait inherited from Makulu. This signals high vitality and a formidable potential for leadership. Finally, one must mention the Kambula males. Though they are sons of the Birmingham Coalition, their mothers are from the Ntsevu Pride, meaning they carry the renowned Mapogo blood. A male lion usually roars for about 45 seconds to 1 minute. before needing to rest from the effort. But Makulu possessed a uniquely deep tone and could roar continuously for 10 to 15 minutes without stopping. While smaller alliances often choose to share space or ignore hyenas at kill sites, the Mapogos viewed these scavengers as an insult that needed to be cleared away. Ecologically, the absence of hyenas combined with the high number of lions caused a biological shock, completely altering the nutrient cycle on the Sabi-San savanna. So the crocodile chooses forbearance to reap the benefits of commensalism. Hippos churn up the mud and defecate, attracting schools of fish to feed. The crocodile simply lies there, and the food delivers itself right to its mouth. Occasionally, lions also become targets of the Nile crocodile. Underwater, they are clumsy creatures. Many majestic pride males have been dragged forever into the darkness by those cold jaws. The lion's counterattacks have little effect on the rugged skin of the crocodile's back. These are osteoderms. Beneath that bony layer lies a dense network of blood vessels. They function like living solar panels, absorbing heat to warm their cold blood, helping them withstand the icy floodwaters of the Okavango winter. But the Nile crocodile's true weapon lies in the tiny black dots along its jawline. Integumentary sensory organs. They are 10 times more sensitive than a human fingertip. In the pitch-black water of the swamp, they easily detect vibrations in the water from a distance. And deep in their bellies lies a heavy secret. Gastroliths, stomach stones. They do not swallow stones out of hunger. These stones act as ballast. Power is a sort of poison, and in Mr. T's veins, that draught had taken a deep hold. This pride reached a breaking point in a head-to-head clash between the two giants in 2008. Mr. T was thoroughly bested, leaving the pride with a deep injury to his leg and a bruised ego. This wild streak had actually been foreshadowed since his days as a cub. Mr. T and his right-hand kinky tail were always the trailblazers. The lion's killing technique in the Okavango has also been modified to adapt to the aquatic environment. Instead of the typical suffocating throat bite, they execute a drowning technique. One jumps onto the back to add dead weight, while another clamps shut the nose. Death comes from water flooding the lungs, much faster than oxygen deprivation. But most interesting is the emergence of a culinary culture. Isolated prides develop distinct hunting specializations passed down through generations. Some prides at Dubar Plains dedicate 90% of their time solely to hunting Cape buffalo, ignoring other prey. Others become experts at digging burrows to hunt warthogs. Leaving the coast, heading deep into the burning inland dunes, we meet the symbol of resilience and lethal beauty, the gemsbok. Their signature identifying feature is the striking black and white mask and a pair of horns straight as two spears. These horns are up to 85 centimeters long, sharp as needles and hard as steel. Unlike many antelopes where only males have horns, Both male and female gemsbok possess this weapon to defend themselves and their calves. Gemsbok can survive where ground temperatures reach 50 to 60 degrees Celsius without drinking water for days. They possess one of the animal kingdom's most sophisticated brain cooling systems, the carotid rete. Hot blood pumped from the heart to the brain passes through an intricate network of capillaries located in the moist nasal sinus. Here, panting evaporates fluid in the nose, cooling the blood before it enters the brain. This mechanism acts like a car radiator. It allows the gemsbok's body temperature to rise to 45 degrees Celsius, a level that would cause fatal heat stroke in most mammals. But the vital brain is kept cool at a safe 38 degrees Celsius. They do not sweat to save every precious drop of water. They endure an artificial fever to survive the scorching day. Hunting a gemsbok is a gamble where lions often pay with their lives. When cornered, the gemsbok does not flee in panic like an impala. They stand their ground, lower their heads, transforming their horns into two defensive spears parallel to the ground. The lion understands it cannot attack head-on. With just one precise thrust, the gemsbok's long horns can puncture a lion's lung or heart. Many lion carcasses have been found in the desert with fatal wounds from those very horns. This further illustrates how brutal the life of the king of beasts is in this desert. Amidst the vast dunes, a direct descendant of dinosaurs still roams. The African ostrich, the largest surviving bird on the planet, standing 2.8 meters tall and weighing over 100 kilograms. They have traded wings for legs. They cannot fly, but they can run faster than the wind. Naked legs with rippling muscles help them reach a sprint speed of 70 kilometers per hour and maintain 50 kilometers per hour for long durations. The ostrich's foot structure is unique in the avian world. There are only 2 toes on each foot. The main toe has evolved to be massive, hoof-like, reducing contact area to minimize friction and grip firmly onto shifting sand. The ostrich possesses the largest eyes of any land animal. The eyeball diameter reaches 5 centimeters, larger than their own brain. A vision range of 5 kilometers turns them into mobile watchtowers of the desert. They often partner with zebras or oryx to utilize each other's vigilance. Lions cannot catch an ostrich in a long-distance race on sand. They must use ambush tactics, utilizing rare bushes or hiding behind the crest of a dune to attack by surprise. But attacking an ostrich is also fraught with risk. A forward kick from an ostrich delivers a force of up to 2,000 psi, enough to shatter the skull of a mature lion or break the attacker's ribs. Therefore, lions usually target weak chicks or raid poorly guarded giant nests, where each egg weighs 1.5 kilograms, equivalent to 24 chicken eggs, providing a valuable protein-rich meal. A wise tactic helping them conserve energy for more brutal hunts. Finally, the Namib's greatest survival lesson comes from its tiniest creature, the toktoki beetle. Their back shell has a special nanostructure. Hydrophilic bumps attract tiny mist particles in the wind. Hydrophobic troughs repel water. Mist accumulates into large droplets on the peaks, then rolls down the grooves, flowing straight into the beetle's mouth, waiting below. They create water out of thin air. The Namib lion, though king of all beasts, must bow to learn from this beetle's wisdom. They lick dew from their fur to hold out through dry days, a frugality rare and unknown to their brethren in the plains. In the Namib, life is a miracle of creativity and adaptation. Under the shade of the trees where lions sleep lies the domain of the most abundant protein source in the Ishasha ecosystem, the Ugandan kob, an endemic antelope subspecies, a national symbol solemnly appearing on Uganda's coat of arms. They possess a vibrant golden-orange coat and a more muscular and stocky build than the impala. The most unique feature of this species lies in its breeding behavior, lekking. Instead of dispersing over vast territories, hundreds of males gather at an open clearing called a lek arena. Each occupies a circular patch of land, only about 15 to 30 meters in diameter. Here, hormones cloud reason. They are engrossed in displaying strength, locking horns, and calling to entice females. Ishasha lions know the map of these fresh meat supermarkets by heart. They choose sycamore trees right next to the lek to rest. When night falls, the lions simply slither down, and the feast begins right where the antelopes are intoxicated in their dance of love. If the kob relies on numbers, the topi relies on speed and high alert. This is one of the fastest antelopes on the dark continent. Topi possess a strange appearance with a sloping back structure. The shoulders are humped high and slope down towards the rump. This aerodynamic design helps them achieve explosive velocity in a split second to escape a cheetah's claws. Their coat is a metallic purplish red, with black patches on the face, legs and thighs, creating the look of an iron-clad warrior. In Ishasha, the topi's most characteristic behavior is acting as a sentry. They have a habit of standing motionless for hours atop tall termite mounds. This position gives them superior visibility over the head-high elephant grass. Topi possess excellent vision, specializing in detecting stealthy movements in the grass of lions or leopards. But their fatal blind spot is the sky. Millions of years of evolution have programmed into topi genes that danger always comes from the ground. They scan the horizon continuously, but rarely look up at the dense canopy overhead. Tree-climbing lions exploit this biological software error thoroughly. On hot days, topi herds often move under fig trees to seek shade or pass through roadside thickets. They are unaware that death is draped right above them. A free-fall drop from a height of 4 meters, utilizing gravitational acceleration combined with a mass of 150 kilograms. The lion delivers a thunderous blow to the prey's back. The impact force is enough to break the neck of a mature topi instantly. Before its Godspeed legs can activate, its fate has been decided from above. The injury from the struggle with Makulu eventually led to a historic geopolitical shift in Sabi Sand. The Mapogo alliance officially split in two. Mr. T and Kinky Tail branched off to oversee the eastern and north-central regions, while Makulu and the 3 remaining members moved to manage the west. This division created 2 completely different worlds. In the west, under Makulu's reign, a rare era of tranquility emerged. The dark-maned king proved to be an unusually patient father. And there are also individuals that target livestock within the local enclosures, known as kraals. They swim across rivers, turning cattle pens into banquet tables and stealing a farmer's entire fortune in just a few hours. In the past, the desperate human response was chemical warfare. They laced cow carcasses with poison to wipe out entire lion prides, inadvertently killing the entire scavenging ecosystem, such as vultures. But the tide is turning thanks to the intervention of the Claws Conservancy and the Lion Guardians program. GPS telemetry collars are fitted onto alpha lions, transforming them into mobile signal beacons. When a pride approaches human settlements, an early warning system immediately sends text alerts to farmers' phones, triggering proactive defense protocols. When vision is blocked by this wall of fabric, the lion's predatory instinct is neutralized. They are forced to retreat, and peace is re-established along the Okavango. The Okavango has become a strange kingdom, reserved for the most unconventional kings in the lion world. Their hunting instincts remain intact, but have transmuted into a completely different form. They survive through intellect, adaptability, and muscles forged in the floodwaters. The evolutionary shift of the lion is an absolute necessity, for their largest prey here are true living fortresses. The Cape buffalo in the Okavango is the ultimate version of this species, making their center of gravity heavier so they can lie motionless at the bottom of fast currents without expending energy swimming. But the Nile crocodile does not always pursue protein. The 2013 study Frugivory and Seed Dispersal by Crocodilians, an overlooked form of sororicori, revealed that they also practice a fruit-based diet. They are one of 13 crocodilian species that actively seek out waterberries or sausage tree fruits to replenish glucose and minerals. This is groundbreaking research on the ecological role of crocodiles. They become great gardeners through the mechanism of sororicori, seed dispersal by reptiles. Hardy seeds survive the pool of stomach acid, hitching a ride on migration journeys spanning tens of kilometers to be planted in a layer of nutrient-rich organic fertilizer. They silently construct the green architecture of the entire Okavango Delta. But this does not imply that the lion is the undisputed ruler of the Okavango's rivers. Every time they plunge into the water, they face a multitude of grave risks, and one of them is the hippo. Nature has endowed them with a periscope design. Eyes, ears, and nose are positioned on the same plane atop the skull. This allows their 3-ton bulk to remain completely submerged to escape the sun while maintaining absolute vigilance. The hippo's sensitive naked skin is protected by a unique biochemical mechanism, a secretion of hipposudoric acid resembling blood sweat. It functions as a sunscreen blocking ultraviolet rays and a powerful antiseptic in the swamp water environment. In the Okavango, hippos are master architects. Their nightly foraging journeys create hippo highways. Their bulldozer-like physiques flatten reeds and dredge the water flow. Without them, the Okavango's channel system would be choked by encroaching vegetation. Deep within the Okavango Basin, the Baye and San people call these giants kubu, a sacred totem protecting the clan's bloodline. The people strictly refrain from hunting kubu, and in return, the waters will never capsize their dugout canoes. And folklore has woven a beautiful myth to explain the biological behavior of this animal. Legend tells that to be granted permission by the creator to take refuge underwater to protect its sensitive skin, kubu must not eat fish. That is why every day the hippo must perform the ritual of gaping its massive jaws towards the blue sky, a gesture of presentation to prove its innocence to the spirits. That between those deadly canines there are absolutely no fish bones, only green grass. This is how the ancients romanticized the scientific truth of a giant herbivore living amidst the kingdom of fish. Underwater, the hippo is king. No matter how well a lion swims, it must flee in panic if it encounters this titan. There have been numerous records of hippos charging lions to rescue in prey, or simply out of sheer hatred for the intruder. They confront lions with a maw capable of opening up to 150 degrees. A pair of lower canines, 50 centimeters long, are self-sharpening like razors. Their bite force reaches 8,100 newtons, 3 times that of a lion. A single snap is more than enough to shatter the femur of an intruder. But on land, the balance of power shifts. At the height of the dry season, when hippos must trek kilometers to find grass, lions will not hesitate to block their retreat. Lions cannot topple an opponent with such a low center of gravity and thick, slippery hide. Instead, the super pride executes a war of attrition. Remarkably, they continued to respect each other's borders and occasionally shared peaceful moments in the frontier regions. The two brothers in the east held the line against any wandering forces from Kruger National Park looking to move into the western heartland. Do you believe Makulu's patience in the west was the mark of a wise ruler, or was it Mr. T's intensity that truly kept the Mapogo's eastern border from folding under the pressure from Kruger? In this land, every choice carries a weight, and the price Mr. T was about to pay would become one of the most somber moments in natural history. They encircle, taking turns shredding the tendons of the hind legs to cripple its mobility. A life-or-death gamble, where a single turn of the hippo's head can cost a lion its life, and a single misstep by the hippo will transform it into a grand feast for the entire kingdom. Beside the lions, another invisible enemy is tightening its grip on the throat of the Okavango hippos: climate change. As the life-giving floodwaters from Angola dwindle, the watery paradise transforms into the mud trap. Deadly pits of sludge, Hundreds of tons of flesh and muscle are crammed into stagnant pools where population density exceeding critical limits triggers extreme levels of stress and aggression. But the true tragedy lies at the microbial level. The polluted environment becomes a perfect petri dish for Bacillus anthracis. Outbreaks sweep through the population like a storm, turning the kings of the swamp into floating corpses, poisoning the water source for the entire ecosystem. The lurking presence of the Nile crocodile forces the red lechwe to always be vigilant when near the water. That is why they usually operate around knee-deep, shallow water. Red lechwe are born to leap, with a characteristic sloping build. The hind legs are significantly longer and stronger than the front legs, pushing the rump higher than the shoulders. This is a natural, compressed spring system. Massive rear thigh muscles accumulate kinetic energy, helping the lechwe overcome the drag of the mud to execute powerful launches. When chased by an enemy, the lechwe executes the porpoising technique. Continuous leaps propel the body out of the water. Moving through air consumes less energy than wading through water, where drag is 800 times greater. Simultaneously, the splashing water creates a visual disturbance screen for the predator. In shallow water, the lechwe's speed is unrivaled. The lechwe's instinct is simply programmed. Plunge into the water immediately upon encountering danger. But this tactic is no longer effective in the Okavango, where lions have adapted to the riverine environment. Instead of stalking in the bushes on the shore, they wade out and lie in wait within the reeds amidst the water. However, the battle still has its physical limits. Lions can only win at the water's edge or in very shallow water. Once the lechwe reaches chest-deep water and activates porpoising mode, the Lion King can only watch in helplessness. The love life of the lechwe is as harsh as their habitat. Come breeding season, hundreds of males gather at a small, open patch of land. Each occupies and fiercely defends a patch of land just a few square meters. They clash, display horns, and use urine to mark that tiny territory. Female herds stroll through this brutal love market. They hold soft power, freely choosing to mate with males occupying the most central positions. The strongest among the strong. That is how they ensure a strong and quality future generation. Leaving behind the aquatic paradise of the Okavango, we venture toward the northeast of Botswana, Savuti, a forgotten land lying deep within Chobe National Park. Here lies the mysterious Savuti Channel, also known as the Ghost River, one of the most erratic hydrological veins on Earth. It can flow fiercely, nourishing life, then suddenly vanish and run dry for decades without warning. It transforms lush swamps into a graveyard of dead trees. When the dry season descends, scorching heat and dust storms turn Savuti into a hell on Earth. Water sources evaporate, forcing every creature toward the last remaining pools. This confinement creates a brutal biological arena. where the war between true giants takes place. Abundant water and grass year-round have nurtured physiques far superior to their counterparts in arid regions. The Cape buffalo conquers this flooded plain with an ultimate weapon positioned right on its forehead, the boss, the horn shield. In mature males, the two horns do not grow separately. They develop and ossify, fusing together in the center of the forehead to form a bone patch hard as a boulder. In battles for power, this horn absorbs horrific impact forces, and when facing lions, it becomes an impenetrable shield. This structure is so hard that bullets can ricochet off it, and the claws or fangs of a predator are utterly hopeless in piercing the skull. In the Okavango, the Cape buffalo has also learned to transform nature into its own personal armor. They coat themselves in a layer of dry mud several centimeters thick, like a biological suit of armor. It resists the scorching sun of the tropics. And more importantly, it is the only barrier against the millions of bloodthirsty horseflies of the swamp. To conquer the soft, yielding terrain, nature has equipped the Cape buffalo with a specialized undercarriage, giant hooves splayed significantly wider than those of other ungulates. They act like heavy-duty rain boots, preventing the nearly 1-ton body from bogging down. In the world of big cats, climbing is traditionally seen as the exclusive privilege of the leopard. Lions are designed for the ground. Their skeletal structure is too heavy. The clavicle is reduced but still less flexible than that of a leopard, limiting the ability to stretch and pull the body upward. The center of gravity is shifted forward with a massive rib cage, making balancing on branches a physical torture. Typically, a lion only climbs trees in two reluctant scenarios. One is to steal prey from a leopard. Two is to escape a herd of angry buffalo. Those are clumsy and fleeting moments. But in a few isolated corners of East Africa, this law of gravity has been bent. Let us travel to Queen Elizabeth National Park in Uganda's Ishasha sector and Lake Manyara in Tanzania. Here you will witness a surreal spectacle, an entire pride, from massive 200-kilogram black-maned males to cubs, lounging precariously on branches 5 to 7 meters above the ground. They do not climb to hide, they climb to rule. This is a rare behavioral adaptation. The cause is not genetic, but stems from the harsh environment on the ground. The moist earth of Ishasha and Manyara is a haven for tsetse flies and horseflies. Their bites are not only painful, but also transmit blood-borne parasites. On the ground, lions are besieged by thousands of biological needles. Up in the trees, the wind blows stronger and insects cannot fly stably. The canopy becomes the only fortress of peace. Furthermore, the equatorial ground at midday radiates stifling heat. Up in the canopy, the temperature is significantly lower thanks to shade and air circulation. Though lacking the agility of a leopard, Ishasha lions have learned to use explosive power to propel their heavy bodies up the tree. Their preferred trees are the sycamore fig and the acacia. These species have low, massive horizontal branches strong enough to support the weight of an entire lion family. Up there, they let their 4 legs dangle comfortably. This posture helps dissipate heat through the paws and belly. However, climbing down is a challenge for lions. They cannot rotate their ankles to descend headfirst like leopards or cats. They must climb backwards or jump down clumsily. This is when the Lion King looks least majestic. But once settled on high, they possess a deadly tactical advantage: panoramic vision. From this balcony, they can observe every movement of prey in the sea of tall grass without being detected. Every great empire is built on sacrifice, and the Mapogo Kingdom was no exception. But in June 2010, those who once ruled Sabi Sand with an iron paw faced a harsh reality. They were no longer the only ones who knew how to dominate. A new coalition of 5 young prime males named Majingilanes moved into the Eastern Territory. Initially, Mr. T and Kinky Tail wounded one intruder, but that was to be their final triumph and the start of a legendary pursuit for justice. In the shadows of that night, the 4 remaining Majingilanes carried out a calculated strike. They turned their attention to Kinky Tail first, cutting him off from his only brother. Facing the overwhelming force of 4 rivals in their prime, Mr. T was forced to make a heartbreaking choice. Leave behind his closest brother to preserve his own path. As soon as Kinky Tail was gone, the unyielding laws of the wild took hold. Sharing the aerial space with lions is an ecological nightmare, and the victim suffering the greatest psychological pressure is the Angola colobus. The name colobus comes from ancient Greek, meaning mutilated, because their hands have completely lost the thumb, leaving only 4 long fingers curved like hooks. This is a perfect adaptation for brachiation movement, swinging from branch to branch. They glide through the canopy like phantoms, rarely setting foot on the ground. The colobus digestive system is a complex fermentation factory. The stomach is divided into multiple chambers containing specialized bacteria to break down cellulose, allowing them to eat old leaves and toxins that other monkeys ignore. Normally, colobus are strictly arboreal. Their natural enemies are eagles or chimpanzees. But in Ishasha, lions have invaded this safe territory. Although lions are too clumsy to chase monkeys on small branches, their presence has blockaded vital travel routes. The monkey troop is isolated and forced onto fragile outer branches. The tension reaches a climax. Just a minute of inattention when descending low to pick ripe figs, or a disastrous slip, and the colobus will face a wind-shearing slap from the big cat. Moreover, the contrasting black and white coat, which helps them identify each other in the dense forest, now becomes a conspicuous target in the eyes of the predator lying in ambush right next door. In the kingdom of tree-climbing lions, nowhere is absolutely safe. Contrary to the elegance and elusiveness of the colobus, the olive baboon are the thugs of the savanna woodland, They are the most intelligent and highly adaptable monkeys in Africa. In Ishasha, baboons act as the supreme security system of the entire forest. They operate flexibly both on the ground and in the trees. Their keen eyesight is the nemesis of the camouflage tactics applied by tree-climbing lions. When detecting a lion lying in a tree, baboons do not flee in silence. They execute psychological counterattack behavior, collective harassment, or mobbing. The entire troop will surround that tree from higher branches or safe adjacent trees. They scream, bare their teeth threateningly, and shake branches violently. They even use biological weapons, throwing dry branches, rotten fruit, and defecating directly onto the lion's head below. The characteristic wahoo bark of male baboons echoes for miles. It acts like an air raid siren. That is how baboons notify the entire forest populace, from cob antelopes to warthogs, of the predator's exact location. For the lion, this is the ultimate humiliation and annoyance. The element of surprise, the lion's most critical weapon, is completely stripped away. A peaceful afternoon nap turns into an auditory and olfactory torture. Many lions, no matter how powerful, are forced to climb down and leave because they cannot stand this raucous harassment. We have just explored the rawest glimpses of the Mapogo Coalition's era of intense rule in the Sabi Sand region. Which figure from today's episode gave you the most food for thought regarding the natural world? Was it Mr. T's cold instincts or Makulu's survival strategy built on iron discipline? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Your understanding is the greatest tribute to these magnificent creatures. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to join me on future field expeditions, where we will continue to unlock the most mysterious codes of survival. And if you wish to explore more about other wildlife, keep learning at Hyena versus Lion, Clash of Predators in the Savannah, or Wild Dogs versus Lion, when unity survives overwhelming power. The power of the Cape buffalo also stems from absolute unity. In the Okavango, the rules of hide-and-seek are abolished. There is no tall grass for cover like in the Serengeti, forcing the predator to use psychological warfare. They make their presence openly known in broad daylight. A pride of 10 to 20 lions lines up abreast and brazenly approaches the buffalo herd. The hunt begins with the lion's bluff charges. This is how they test the reaction of the buffalo. Those that stand their ground and stare back will be tough targets. Conversely, those that flinch or panic will be the weakest link. When chaos erupts, the lions actively drive the target into flooded channels. They hope the deep mud will lock the legs of the 900-kilogram prey. The moment the target is isolated, the tactical formation is deployed like a professional rugby team. One locks the legs, another locks the jaws, and the strongest, weighing up to 200 kilograms, will ride the prey's back. They use their dead weight to submerge the buffalo's head and cut off the flow of oxygen to the lungs. Located in southern Africa, Zambia experiences a subtropical climate with two distinct seasons: a rainy season from November to April and a dry season from May to October. Annual rainfall ranges from 700 to 1,200 milliliters, fostering lush vegetation growth during the rainy months. However, during the dry season, temperatures can soar beyond 37 degrees Celsius, leading to water scarcity and forcing many wildlife species to migrate or adapt to harsh conditions. Zambia boasts remarkable biodiversity, with approximately 3,543 species of wild-flowering plants, 53% of which are classified as rare. Its wildlife is equally diverse, home to 242 mammal species, including several endemic ones, 757 bird species, with 100 being non-breeding migrants and 470 breeding within the country, and 490 fish species spanning 24 families. The nation also takes pride in its 20 national parks of varying sizes. Some parks are known for their high wildlife densities and attract numerous visitors, with Kafue National Park standing out as the most renowned. In most of the Nanzila River drainage basin and certain areas around the Nkala, Musa, and Lwansanza rivers, black-grey alkaline clay soils are present. Kafue is a paradise for bird watchers. Thanks to its exceptional variety of habitats, the park boasts over 500 recorded bird species, nearly as many as the entire continent of Europe. This ecologically diverse park is also renowned for its wide range of antelope species, with a total of 20 different species inhabiting the area. As one of Africa's largest otter species, it is native to freshwater habitats across sub-Saharan Africa, except for the Congo Basin and arid desert regions. Kafue National Park provides an ideal habitat for this species, thanks to its abundant rivers and lakes, which offer a rich food supply and safe shelter. The African clawless otter has thick, sleek, water-resistant fur, which helps maintain body temperature even when diving for extended periods in cold water. Its forepaws lack claws, enhancing their sensitivity when searching for prey along riverbeds or muddy banks. Its stiff, highly sensitive whiskers play a crucial role in detecting even the slightest movements of prey in the water. The African clawless otter's diet consists primarily of crustaceans, fish, frogs, and worms. Its hunting strategy relies on rapid diving, using its front paws to dig through mud or flip over rocks in search of hidden prey. Once a catch is secured, it swiftly swims to shore to eat, rather than consuming its prey underwater like many other otter species. This behavior reduces the risk of being preyed upon or losing food to larger predators. Hot, dry winds sweep across the savannah, swirling red dust over the endless grasslands of Zambia. This landlocked nation lies deep in southern Africa, spanning a vast 752,618 square kilometers, with over 30% of its territory protected within national parks and nature reserves. Rich in natural resources, minerals, ancient forests, freshwater sources, and a diverse array of wildlife, Zambia stands as an ecological gem at the heart of Africa. Across the endless floodplains, impalas move gracefully through the tall grass, wading through shallow waters in search of food. This is one of Africa's most common antelope species. Their sleek, reddish-brown coat allows them to blend seamlessly into the savanna landscape, while the pale white underbelly creates a striking contrast. Males possess lyre-shaped horns that range from 50 to 90 centimeters in length, while females remain hornless. These horns serve as both a symbol of dominance within the herd and a weapon in fierce battles for mating rights. When faced with a predator, impalas rely on speed and agility to escape. They can leap up to 3 meters high and cover distances of 10 meters in a single bound, allowing them to clear shrubs or small streams with ease. One of their most effective defense tactics is erratic jumping, rapidly changing direction to confuse predators. If cornered, they may hide among dense vegetation, using the thick foliage as a natural shield against prying eyes. The Muchinga Escarpment and Nika Plateau rise to elevations between 1,000 and 1,600 meters above sea level, offering a cooler climate and lush vegetation. In contrast, the Zambezi and Luangwa river basins sprawl as lowland floodplains. The Bangweulu Basin stretches like an inland sea, providing sanctuary for a remarkable diversity of bird life. The relentless forces of geology have crafted a Zambia of striking contrasts, where forests, mountains, savannas, and waterways merge into a wilderness both captivating and untamed. Zambia, a landlocked nation in southern Africa, boasts a rich history and diverse cultural heritage. Archaeological evidence, such as ancient tools near Kalambo Falls, indicates human presence in the region for over 36,000 years. Before the 4th century, the area was primarily inhabited by the Khoisan and Batwa peoples. Around the year 300 AD, Bantu-speaking groups began migrating into Zambia, bringing with them metalworking skills and agricultural practices. The Tonga and Tumbuka were among the first Bantu settlers, establishing large, self-sufficient villages. Today, Zambia's cultural landscape is vibrant, with more than 70 ethnic groups, each with its own language and traditions. With its deep historical roots, Zambia is also home to a variety of religious beliefs. Christianity is the dominant faith, with approximately 75% of the population identifying as Protestant or Catholic. Traditional African religions and Islam also have a presence, reflecting the nation's cultural diversity. This geographical isolation has led to the development of a unique subspecies, bearing the marks of millions of years of evolutionary history. The Thornycroft's giraffe has a striking appearance. It stands tall and graceful, with a long, elegant neck and a coat covered in irregular dark brown patches, separated by white to pale yellow bands. Over time, males develop darker coats, a trait that can be used to estimate their age. Unlike giraffes in other regions, Thornycroft's giraffes display distinct coat patterns, making them an iconic symbol of South Luangwa. Kafue National Park is the largest national park in Zambia, covering approximately 22,400 square kilometers, an area comparable to the size of Massachusetts. It is the second largest national park in Africa and is home to 152 species of mammals. Additionally, there are 515 bird species, 70 reptile species, 58 fish species, and 36 amphibian species. The park is named after the Kafue River. It spans across 3 provinces, northwestern, central, and southern. The main access route is via the Lusaka-Mongu Road, which cuts through the park's north-central region. In the northern part of the park, the floodplains are characterized by clay-rich soils. Elsewhere, the landscape is dominated by heavily leached, nutrient-poor sandy-to-sandy loam soils. With its long, dexterous tongue, the Thornycroft's giraffe easily pulls leaves from the highest branches, reaching food sources inaccessible to most other animals. Its diet includes a variety of plant species, from deciduous trees during the rainy season to evergreens in the dry months. Despite its large size, the Thornycroft's giraffe is not a predator. Zambia bears the imprint of billions of years of geological transformation. Beneath the parched soil of its savannas and the rushing currents of its rivers lies an ancient foundation, where Earth's movements have shaped the wild landscapes seen today. The history of this land dates back more than 2.7 billion years, when the Congo Craton, one of Africa's oldest rock formations, was formed from metamorphic and igneous rock. Around 600 million years ago, shifts in the Earth's crust created the Lufillian Arc, a dramatically folded tectonic zone that harbors vast mineral deposits. The Great Rift Valley system, which began forming 20 million years ago, continues to shift and expand, carving deep valleys and shaping river and lake systems, including the Zambezi and Luangwa, lifelines of the region's ecosystem. However, it has a unique survival strategy. When detecting danger, it acts as a living alarm tower for the savanna. A single alert head raise from a giraffe is often enough to warn other animals in the vicinity. If attacked, it can defend itself with powerful kicks, delivering blows strong enough to incapacitate or even repel a full-grown lion. Its sleek yet muscular body, agile limbs, and razor-sharp claws make it one of the most formidable predators on the planet. Each time it pauses, golden eyes reflect the evening light, scanning for even the slightest movement. Its sensitive whiskers detect every shift in the wind, every subtle vibration in the air. A lone impala strays from the herd, 50 meters away. The leopard lowers its body, hugging the earth, moving like a shadow. The distance shrinks. Each time the impala looks up, the leopard freezes, melting into its surroundings. Southeast African cheetah is one of the fastest predators on the planet. With speeds exceeding 97 kilometers per hour, it holds the title of the world's fastest land mammal, a true symbol of speed and endurance in the wild. Cheetahs have a long evolutionary history, first appearing on Earth over 2.5 million years ago. As one of the most widespread cheetah subspecies, they inhabit the grasslands and savannas of sub-Saharan Africa. In the stillness of the wetlands, a pair of wattled cranes stands tall among the swaying grasses, their posture both elegant and majestic. Reaching 175 centimeters in height with a wingspan of 260 centimeters, this largest crane species in Africa embodies both grace and strength, serving as an iconic presence in the continent's wetland ecosystems. The evolutionary history of the wattled crane is closely tied to vast wetland habitats, where they have adapted alongside aquatic vegetation, shaping their feeding and hunting behaviors according to seasonal water cycles. Today, most of their population is concentrated south of the Sahara Desert, particularly in Zambia, Botswana, and Mozambique. The wattled crane's diet is primarily aquatic, consisting of tubers and rhizomes from wetland sedges and water lilies. Additionally, they consume grains, grass seeds, and small insects. Foraging occurs mainly during daylight hours as they wade through shallow waters, using their long beaks to search for, extract, and peel plant roots, or capture small crustaceans hidden in the mud. Alongside Kafue, South Luangwa National Park stands as one of Africa's premier wildlife reserves. Spanning approximately 9,050 square kilometers, South Luangwa National Park is nestled within the Luangwa Valley in eastern Zambia. Beneath the sparse canopy, where sunlight filters through the brachystegia trees, a silent figure moves across the leaf-covered ground. Its golden spotted coat blends seamlessly with the interplay of light and shadow, rendering its movement nearly invisible. This is the leopard. Lechwe is one of Africa's most distinctive antelope species, known for its unique survival strategy in shallow water habitats, an environment where few mammals can thrive. Only males possess long, spiraled, lyre-shaped horns, which serve as crucial weapons in territorial battles. Their legs are covered with a natural water-resistant coating, allowing them to run swiftly even when submerged up to their knees. With longer hind legs than front legs, they can leap powerfully and move with agility through the water. When sensing danger, they instinctively dash into deeper waters, an effective survival tactic that helps them evade predators. At 10 meters, its muscles coil, poised like a drawn bowstring. In a lightning-fast burst, the leopard lunges forward, accelerating up to 58 kilometers per hour. Claws sink deep into the impala's throat, followed by a powerful bite. A force of 1,779 newtons, ending the struggle within seconds. A solitary hunter, silent yet undeniably powerful. Across the vast savannas and Miombo woodlands of Zambia, leopards roam scattered territories, favoring dense vegetation where they can stalk their prey undetected. Their population density remains low, ranging from 1 to 3 individuals per 100 square kilometers, depending on protection levels within different areas. Amidst the towering miombo trees, the leopard moves slowly. It is neither rushed nor reckless. Every step is calculated with precision. But in the miombo woodlands, a successful kill does not guarantee victory. Other predators lurk, ready to seize its hard-earned prize. The leopard knows this well. Summoning its immense strength, it drags the carcass high into the trees, beyond the reach of scavengers. With remarkable power, it hoists prey 3 times its body weight, more than 5 meters off the ground. There, hidden among the miombo leaves, it enjoys its meal in peace. The Luangwa River flows through the park, shaping natural lagoons and wetlands, providing a vital water source for the region's diverse ecosystem. The area surrounding South Luangwa is home to many local communities with rich cultural traditions. Visitors can participate in community tours, gaining insight into the customs, daily life, and heritage of the local people. The park itself is home to over 60 mammal species and more than 400 bird species. South Luangwa National Park is the exclusive habitat of the Thornycroft's giraffe, a Zambian endemic giraffe species. The scorching sun stretches across the parched grasslands of Zambia. A sable antelope moves silently among the low-lying shrubs, its watchful eyes scanning the vast terrain. Its dark brown to jet-black coat allows it to blend seamlessly into the savanna, concealing itself from predators. The sable antelope is a powerful species, distinguished by its impressive crescent-shaped horns, which can reach lengths of 165 centimeters. In many cultures, antelope horns are ground into powder, believed to enhance vitality. In some regions, they are also used to craft weapons or ceremonial artifacts. But in the wild, these majestic horns serve as the sable antelope's greatest defense. When threatened, it does not immediately flee, but instead turns to face its attacker, its horns pointed straight at the threat. We have just journeyed together through the most unfiltered truths about survival across 2 of the wildest ecosystems on Earth. Which animal in today's episode changed the way you see the wild world? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Your understanding is the greatest tribute to the animals of the wild. Don't forget to like and subscribe to join me on the next field journey, where we'll continue to decode the most mysterious survival codes. And if you want to explore more about other wild animals, check out Win or Die, full episode. Deadliest Battles for Survival, or Lion Attack, the Mapogo Battle for Survival.